Go, go. Yeah, you got shot. What's that? You should have both shot. Yeah. Oh, are you ready to go? Yeah. Okay. It's not showing. Oh, it's not. Welcome to the Troy City Council meeting for January 13th. Can call the meeting to order and stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any public comments on matters on the agenda? All right, moving on, new business licenses. Raging Raven. Is Kyle or Bill lawyer?
I took the guy and speak for him, so he can go down.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Well, sad. Yeah. Hey, all right, I can apologize. Sorry. Bill Moe is just parking the truck and he's coming in as well. Just introduce himself. She must be Kyle. I'm Kyle, yes. Nice to meet you, Kyle. So can you tell us a little bit about the we're spotlight right now, right? If you could sign in.
Wait, thank you.
Just, you guys are, just starting a new business in Troy, or want to do business in Troy, so just kind of tell us what your plans are. Okay, so, Mr. Moe and we have a fireworks stand. I have a fireworks stand in Libby. And we do, and we also have one in Paris. And we have a lot of customers come from Troy just specifically to see our stand in Libby. And we were hoping and wishing to expand this way to kind of repay the visit over here from all the people coming over to us. And it's as far as fireworks go, it's 14 days right around the 4th and 3 days in New Year's. Kind of everything will be self-contained. We're not going to leave anything on the streets on the main drag there, and we'll be able to pack up and leave no trace. But really, we want to come here. You know, Mr. Moe and I know a lot of the kids, youth. We coach. We're big coaches over in Libby. We've seen the youth through Troy come through the Libby side, so we know a lot of the people here want to be part of this community here. Yeah, I mean, everything else.
So we're also looking to help fund the fireworks show in Troy too. Hopefully we have our plan designed. So,
That's the one mom with $15,000.
We can know.
You wanna see some 12-inch mortars?
But says we are completely legal, not bringing anything in that is not illegal to the community check. Yeah.
If you know you're talking to your.
Put the one for and one like Libby, so.
Okay, well, I mean, we do want kids to be safe and everyone to be safe and still have fun. So.
you guys have a location in mind?
We do, Troy Auto Parts has graciously let us, take part in front of their stores. I appreciate that, you know, so that's where we're gonna set up shop and for right now. And hopefully that's gonna be home for many years to come, is what we're hoping.
They're talking the auto parts or the state shop, whole state shop.
Our all parts.
Oh, no, auto parts.
Right across from the road or something.
Right, so that's
Kitty corner.
Yeah.
the shoot family there, so. Get a nice partnership there is our plan. And like we said, yeah, regulations between Libby and Troy, it's night and day, so. But we still wanna follow all the rules. The city has to,
So more fireworks ain't gonna hurt us.
well,
And EJ approved it.
Oh, good,
So,
nice.
yes, I'm talking to you, know what I mean, so. No, we're excited to be part of the community and like I said, we have a lot of people driving. To Libby just to see us at the stand and it's just, it'll be nice to be over here. As well over there. And yeah, either Mr. Mo or I will be here every day, so it's not gonna be just random people working, so we will be here with the stand.
So you're not gonna hire within the community of Troy?
Who can if we want? No,
I'm just kidding, so.
no, we love if you have someone that can do the job.
Well, the size of the stand would be small, Tim, so it'd be a little stand, so.
Okay.
We'll have all the fun in it, so.
Nice. Do you have any questions? I'll ask for a motion to approve the business license for Rage and Raven.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
All in favor? Unanimous? All right, good, you're approved.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
How did it go for
New Year's, you know, it was funny. It's a funny story because a young grade schooler kid was riding the bike and I happened to be outside front and he just hits the brakes and screams and says, "Oh, boy, to Libby to buy fireworks here." No, it went well. It went well.
The first 2 days were really slow,
And it was.
you know, and it's a lot of weather dependent too, you know, so. The third day was more fun, we got to meet some characters.
As you will.
So, but we're excited to be part of your community. Be here.
Nice.
Well, we appreciate it. You don't have to stick around, you guys. Can
Okay.
take
Good to
off.
go.
Well,
All right.
Thanks, guys.
all right,
Thank you.
yeah, then like.
Yeah.
Ben Shara should send you guys your business license. So
yeah,
Okay,
it'll go on mail this week, Colin.
you said, and we will stay in contact with fire marshals, when time comes, just so that we're all in communication that way.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Take out.
real quick for the group that just came in.
Yes.
Signage up at the, if you don't mind.
Oh, no problem.
Next on the business license, aligned mind counseling, it's Valerie Schrader. You know, you could just talk from there. They're from Lansing, I've got on.
Ah,
Or you can stand over there if you like.
We only have my Dutch people, so it feels more complicated. So. Okay. Remember what the question was, that was like.
Just kind of what your business is, what you're doing.
So, yeah, I am gonna open up, I'm gonna go private with my counseling. I have, I'll just tell a quick story. A short story of me. I've worked in a school for off and on for over probably close to 20 years, on and on. Love the kids, loved working there, took a job counseling at Rotary for teaching, was going to move forward on teaching at Rotary, and so I joke about that, midlife decided to make a radical change and get my master's, and so got my counseling license, went to work at Turning Winds, love working at Turning Winds. It's, it has some deficits, but I actually love the program enough that I want to stay up there for a couple of days. But I do, I have missed, in the 3 years I've been up at Turning Winds, I've missed the community. And I've missed being, because I've been involved in like a lot of the programming that Maggie does and the outreach stuff and the school, and I've missed boy. And so I want to get plugged back in, and I'm seeing an office in the Knoxville building. And it's tiny, but I'm gonna convince them that I need a little bit more space. But it will work, and I've got, I am in the process of I have a provisional license for insurance, but the insurance specifically, all the insurances have yet, I have to get the business license here. So I can right now see cash clients, and probably at the end of the week, depending on when we get this, I can see insurance. It'll take a second before the billing go through. So,
Nice.
and my husband says I never quit analyzing.
Yes.
Probably told Scott that before, yeah.
Does anyone have any questions?
Well, I see another great need.
Yeah, I am very much, I'm pretty good with teens and young adults. And I have a heart for women, and I absolutely prefer not to do couple counseling, and I've already had two different couples ask me, and I probably will do it. So, yeah. I love young people.
Okay, so I'll ask for a motion to approve new business license for Aligned Counseling.
I'll make a motion to approve the business license.
For the second,
A second.
all in favor? With that,
No,
we go.
cool. I want to stick around.
Thank you. Third business license is a repeat, John and Barb.
Been here once, I'll sit here.
Well, that's what.
It's an odd house.
John and I were on council. What was that, 4 years ago?
2018.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was before, say 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at the same location. There's gonna be some leases and things that expire. We wanted to be sure that we got up here and applied for the license before we actually lost, we get that location sealed up. So, yeah. And it would be in the same location, so.
So,
I mean,
Shelby, Jesse, you guys know what they have alternative relief up in Libby and everything, so,
I can kind of give you a rundown. So.
yeah, if you would for.
Yeah, sure.
And Travis being here too, so.
So we We were open in 2010, 2011, and then the government went through, Montana's government went through a big, 4 or 5 year ordeal where they made everybody shut down and then they could reopen, but then they had to stay shut down and there was a moratorium in place. And so we stayed shut until 2017 when they reworked the medical law, which is when we opened again. Since then, we are open in Polson, Thompson Falls, Libby. We shut medical in Troy, just because the medical market, it was here and we could have sustained and the business was making money. But at that point, we had to grow all of our product ourselves and sell it within the same company. We couldn't buy anything from anyone else. And so when we were weighing our options, once we got Polson, we knew what we had to do financially and we had to take care of Polson before we took care of here. And now that it's recreational, we've been trying for years to find a location here, and given the schematics, we can't be, within 500 feet of a church. We can't be within 500 feet of a daycare, within 500 feet of, a church, daycares, schools, playground, so it's extremely hard to navigate finding a location. Hopefully one of these days I get our dream location that we've been looking at, but it just hasn't gotten into our laps yet. I know what one I want. I just gotta wait for the opportunity. Right where it is. It's a safe spot. But a little about us is we have grown I call it a monster. We've grown a huge company and we want no more than to be close to home with people that we know, people that we're familiar with. And we like to give back to our communities, and we give back a lot. And this is one of those places that we actually would like to give back to. Last year, we attempted to clear your school lunch debt as well, but you had no school lunch debt because you're doing something with your budget that's awesome. It did not work. It did not look like Libby's. And so we just really like to be part of the Troy community again, and because this is, outside of Libby, this is the next best place. So, that's
And they're the ones that donate all the containers for our new training facility
Yeah.
for the fire department.
so nice.
You said
Yeah.
outside of Troy, Libby's the next best place.
Yeah.
No, Libby's home, and so outside of there, this is kind of our second home as far as with the people in the community and everything that we know. So yeah, we even buy our fireworks from Kyle.
Used to.
So a few years ago, when we went through and we did our ordinance and everything for marijuana and dispensaries and everything, you guys read that?
Yes,
So, okay, because we're sell only, we're not cultivating and growing, making up those operations, and everything, so I just wanna make sure.
right.
That out to you guys.
We've got all those facilities out
Yeah.
there.
I just wanted to make sure, so.
And currently, it is legal now for us to purchase from other vendors and, make those connections with other people. And it's a whole market with lots of, like, when we transport product, it's under transport manifests. Those manifests have to match, what's in the computer, and that is available to law enforcement at any time if they need to check on it. And everything needs to match. Everything is as it was before. Those tags, if you are off by one single item, you get fined. The Cannabis Control Division is not friendly. They are not friendly people. They are not friendly to mistakes. They are not friendly to inventory that is off. As a matter of fact, we have yet to be fined. We have yet to get a single fine, and our inspectors tell us that we need to put a feather in our hat because we're in a rare breed out there right now. So we're really, really proud of that. And we've had a total of 13 sting operations, and we have passed every single one. So we're super proud of those.
Travis, you have any questions or any comments or anything?
Wasn't really prepared for that, so probably not right now.
If
They're pretty open here.
always feel free to contact us.
Anyone else have questions or?
Yeah, so I guess, and so you said
there is an ordinance specific to cannabis sales in Troy.
Yes.
Okay, so I was just curious because I was going through the business licensing code, and it's got the unlawful activities not licensed, and it's got the language that where basically you can't Troy can't give a license to anything prohibited by any federal law.
So back when we originally 2018, 2019, we did go through that. And we did contact our lawyer Cliff at that time. And it was since Montana had legalized it, it was kind of I don't know when that's, and so,
I'm just curious because I think because the city of Libby had the same thing.
Yeah.
I think amended their city code to
yeah,
I mean, it was almost like verbatim statement, I believe.
yeah.
So
So then in 2021 or 2020, Sean, I don't remember basically when we put the ordinance in place, but we had to have one in place by a certain date. Otherwise, we couldn't do it. It was gonna be a free for all. So we came up and did the ordinance. And basically the only stipulation that we put in it was that we didn't want to grow operation going. So,
And only one
I know they won't, yeah.
for the city.
well,
per capita, right? That's how it reads.
yeah, and I think that follows along with state ordinance, like per capita. Or is that a count? Does that sound right?
It's per jurisdiction,
Per
so,
jurisdiction?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. And with the provision that you were speaking of just a moment ago, the state put a mandate and said, if you are going to create any kind of ordinance, anything like that, it should be done by this date, and you should send paperwork to the state by this date based on your intentions. Otherwise, you know, anyone is subject to open in your community and you know, without regulation,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But you are able to amend your ordinances, you're able to change those ordinances, you're able to do any of those things at Pearl, you just have to notify the state.
And this location is at that little kind of fourplex behind our place.
Yes.
Okay.
And when we were there last time, we never had any incident whatsoever, of the police having to be called, anything like that. There was no attempted break-ins, there was no attempted theft, we had no issues. Security that we have to have in our buildings, we have to have security cameras that cover the ingress and the egress. We have to have cameras that cover every single corner, every single product, back, front, outside. We have to have specific locks on our doors. We don't have to have bars on the windows. But we do have to have commercial locks. We have to have, you know, our regulations are never ending and they continue to pile and pile and pile. So we're good at doing this now, and so we'll just continue to try to be good at whatever they throw at us.
Any other questions?
No.
The last for a motion to approve, alternate relief, again, repeat customer.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All right, thank you very much. Well,
Thanks, guys.
Hey, good luck.
I was really hoping for the train to find stuff.
that's odd way back.
Send us the license.
Yeah, Sheridan usually has them.
Then once you have them ready, then once they're approved, we'll go sign and get followed. That's great. Thank you so much.
Anything sooner, well, you may just call Sharon tomorrow and ask if you can just go out and pick it up.
You'll free to my mind. And feel free to contact us if you have any questions.
Moving on to housing committee. Shauna talked about this a little bit during the work meeting last week. And basically the intent for the housing committee would be to see if we could get 3 or 4 people together to kind of explore what kind of options we have to be able to get some housing, an apartment complex onto our lot over here. One of the main goals of that view would be to generate some more revenue for our general fund. I know there's Jesse's near and dear to that with some of the stuff that he does. But I thought if we could get some people from the community that also had some similar interest in that, it would be great that they could do some of the heavy lifting and then maybe grant writing or just information, gathering information to where they can bring it to the council and we can make a decision. I think there's several different groups out there now besides rural development or rural development Montana that does housing loans and specifically for low income and stuff like that. It can be quite the rabbit hole depending on which way we go with it. But I'd like to get a committee going for that. So, do you want to have any questions? Do we vote on a committee?
Don't know, that's what it was just wondering. So I'm not sure.
To form a committee?
To form a committee,
I don't know.
maybe once we have members.
That was a sad
I
day.
think maybe.
Just, yeah.
Do you wanna do it like we've done these last ones, just the letters?
Yeah, I'll do features for the housing committee. So,
What are you hoping for, 4 or 5 or something?
3 or 4, you know.
Depends on how much interest we see.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse's gonna be herding these cats, unbeknownst to him.
Keep frightened, Jesse.
People who are willing to.
Welcome to the city council.
And I'd be glad to be on the committee. Like, I've got, I'm on the board of directors for Community Action Partnership Northwest, and so they're a good resource for hearing these opportunities. So.
Perfect.
Probably do a due date for the letters by, just before the February meeting. That way you can decide there.
February 1st, we don't have interest in 2 weeks, something like that. Yeah, so. Couple days before, so. Yeah. Perfect. Water station. So we've talked about this off and on for years now. I do believe the guys got the lockbox on today,
They did
so.
have the key
Yeah,
in the office. Haven't had anybody come to check it out yet, but.
well, is the lockbox still on?
Well, that's
It's good saying. See a lot of people there at night.
So the intent of the blocks on the station is basically, we have a lot of people that are really good about paying their monthly fee for the water. But we also have a lot of people that don't, that have large tanks, so as you all know, our water budget's a little strained right now, and this is kind of to help generate some revenue for that. So what we've talked about, unless this has changed in the last week with Shara, I kind of let Shara do this, but we put the lock on it. Somebody comes up, they pay for bulk water, they have a 500-gallon tank, they get charged accordingly for that. They should have a good idea of what size tank they're filling up. And then they pay for that. Shara gives them a key, they go down, unlock it, then they have to return the key. So it's going to be business hours only, no more nighttime fill ups. And this is kind of the easy solution to being able to have some kind of metered pay point of purchase water distribution center down there. Looking at what we have for our ARPA fund for our water projects and everything going on. Warren and I talked about it being more important to be able to do some more stuff down there at the sewer building rather than spend $20,000 to $30,000 on a water station. So just because right now we need to get our water, our sewer up and going down there. We have some items that were kind of, well, we can't do this because of this, and that was an easy one. Say, hey, let's cut this out. We need to get our wet wells monitoring system up to a somewhat more reliable reporting system. So if there is an issue with it, it actually calls out and notifies the guys. Right now, it's all ran through old telephone lines. And we can, with the new upgrade to that, we can eliminate 3 phone lines that we're paying every month on. So.
Something on that.
Yes.
Well, like it's only Monday through Friday. We come down here and got water on the weekends, and there's talked to people since we've seen the sign come up. And they're concerned there's some people at work that can't get off between Monday and Friday in those hours. Heard that already. And then just with that one key, so now there's gonna be a line here. Is that where the line's gonna start?
Yeah, sure.
Return the key.
Well, then that person, when they come back for water, is a good water.
I mean, you guys have an extra key.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna issue on one at a time is what you're saying about that, yeah.
So, like, right now, I don't know what the number is, but, we're losing some revenue off of that. And due to a change order we got from a contractor, it really put a strain on our water budget. So we're kind of looking to try to figure out how to generate some more revenue off for our water, rather than just going and raising rates and saying, hey, you know what, everyone in Troy, we're raising rates. So we're trying to explore other options, which we understand it's going to be a strain to some people, just because it's only going to be during business hours. So, but we also had to look at budget. You know, how much money do we have to spend on a point of purchase water system? Looking at those, they're $20,000 to $30,000 depending on which one you go with. And right now, City Troy cannot afford a $20,000 to $30,000 system to put in there for that. So we've had people down there literally taking showers, and we have people filling up. We had a guy filling up and watering a Royal Lake, and he got caught, and then he just moved to a different fire hydrant in Troy. And it's like, really, you know, and that's all our potable water system off that. We have a hydrant off the old O'Brien Creek that is non-metered, nothing. That's just creek water coming. So,
Now, is there a fine for stealing water? Like if you catch someone off a hydrant or something, like is there an actual fine for that, or is it just always a?
Step of services by state law. It's
Yeah.
all the citizens of Troy, they pay their water bill. That money goes into maintaining the system that they're a part owner in, and then when people come get free water, it's theft of what these people are paying for. So that's not an us rule, that's a state law, so it's in the MCA's.
thanks for working.
We're not being a bunch of memes about it, it's there's people that are playing fair and people that aren't, we're trying to make it even. And really, like I've said this before, the fill station started out as just a favor. It's not anything we are required to do. So
And that's gonna start tomorrow.
the block box is already
Oh,
started.
it's already started, okay.
I saw this morning. So
It's on a cinder block, right?
The key is.
Big water. Do you have any questions on that? Works. Police commission, on the police commission, we do have 2 letters of interest.
Yes, I've got one taking your guys' packs. The other one came back when we did the local government review.
Okay.
And I don't know if Sharon had given them out then. I didn't have time to look for that today. It was Ben Kibbe was the other person, so.
So Bob Henderson and Linda Rodriguez would continue to serve. Ed graciously bowed out. His wife has informed him he takes on too much, so he said if you've had somebody, gladly pass the torch, so we do have one spot, that is currently vacant. I did ask Travis before the meeting to review the resumes and give me his top 3 recommendations for that. So we can start setting up interviews, and do that, so we can figure out, a first and a second. Since, Michael Miller did get hired for the Montana Highway Patrol. So does he have a start date?
I think he said he can be here, right until the end of, yeah, right about March. I think right to the end of February. Yeah.
I said, yeah. So we could possibly do interviews, for Michael's replacement, 4th officer. Do the interviews, figure out which one we wanna hire first, and then as the 4th.
Yeah, I think the first one that you wanna hire, because that's what we posted for, is the one off the grant.
Okay.
Then I don't know if it's that person moves into Michael's position and then you hire another person for the grant, or if you, I don't know which way you guys wanna do that.
Well, like you said, I think we gotta hire for that position, so it'd be the
Yeah.
grant position first.
Okay.
And how many candidates did you have?
Yeah, like 10 applications. Yeah, and then we had 3 that really stood out for the position, and we had some that we thought would make really good reserves if they were interested in that.
Nice.
I know one guy is for sure. He said he had just took another job, and he's pretty happy with it, but he would still like to reserve for us, which is something that we're building back up anyway. So it gives someone a good opportunity to work into that position if there's another position here open, or the sheriff's department, or like Michael did at MVP, or
Good knowledge.
yeah.
And kind of my plan is just get our 2 candidates. Get our 2 candidates from our interviews, give them to the police commission to review and qualify, and then we can do the hiring after that. So once we get word back from that.
Do we need to advertise again for the, well, not the 4th officer, but the 3rd officer position, since it's not grant dependent? Like it's a different term?
I don't think so. I mean,
Yeah, I think out of the ones who applied for the first one should just fall in the category for the second one.
you can make a hiring. Well, I mean, you can,
Yeah, and I know I don't know if she stated it in this one, but on the police chief ad, she stated we were trying to develop a hiring pool
Oh,
to go from, so. So I don't know if we would have to, we'll have to
so
check into that.
right. So if we're hiring for the grant position, then when Michael's comes open, my thought was then the guy that's hired there moves up, and then the next guy would be yeah. That's how yeah, I mean that's how I thought.
because that job would be more secure
Yeah.
long term.
Yes.
That's a grant.
Yeah, because the grant job is,
So we're gonna match up.
yes, yeah.
Which some guys, I mean, they're okay with that because it gives them a chance to get over here, get post certified, and and the position opens up again, great. If not, they can move around.
Can you ask Shara
Yeah.
that
No
from
doubt.
now on? Thank you. Any questions on police commission? Alright. Moving on to old business, generate claims, Paula has asked that we hold that off till next week.
Yeah.
So we'll have a special meeting on the 21st, which is Tuesday,
Tuesday.
due to Martin Luther King Day being a holiday. And then we can approve claims.
What time is that meeting?
We do that at 6:30, because I have fire on Tuesdays.
I was gonna say, what,
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, either one be fine for me.
No,
6 work?
Then 6 o'clock for you, Justin?
Might have planning board that evening,
Oh,
but I'll have to double check.
Department reports, the only thing I do have is that I talked to Nicole today. And, you know, they should have a draft to us by the end of the week, early next week for our audit. And my concern was in the draft is that our state deadline, and I think she submits the draft to the state also. At the same time, and then Nicole will set up, or work with Paula on setting up a time to come down and go through the audit with us. So it's looking like we should have that wrapped up by the end of next week. It's the latest, so.
good thing.
Yes. Yeah. No. And then going into the reports. We have Travis on first here.
Alrighty. So let's talk with Levi. We were working on the training for Troy PD, and it was going to involve just some stuff that we need to either brush up on or need a little bit more training in stuff like getting ready for DUI trials and domestic violence laws and Fourth Amendment, you know, rights and stuff like that. And we were shooting for January or the middle of this month, and with Michael getting a job with MHP. And we're bringing on another guy. Levi would like to wait until we're full staff so we can just get everybody not have to flip flop around. He thought about just doing it for ours and putting together like a training book or whatever, but we just would like to get everybody all together. He also got in touch with the chief over in Libby and undersheriff of the sheriff's department, see if they'd like to join us on that as well, which we thought would be a good idea and builds some camaraderie there, you know, with other departments and kind of gets us on the same page. So we had our monthly patrol meeting, discussed firearms training and rebuilding the reserve program because we're kind of just in a rebuilding stage all the way around on some stuff with officers leaving and our reserve program kind of dwindling there. So we had some really good discussion. We had reserves involved in that meeting as well. Discussed some of the problems that we're seeing with officer involved shootings and stuff like that in the nation, and discussed how we could do some training that wouldn't be too costly to our department, and I think it's good training in. So that was very positive. Moving on to vehicles, all of our vehicles are in good working order thanks to Ward and his crew. Everything's up to snuff. We're talking with the sheriff's department right now on our records department here, doing some revamping with that. See, grants are pretty much still the same. The cops grant, of course, you know, that's we're looking to hire or get that filled in Michael's position. And we had 51 calls for service this month, so up from last month, and 3 agency assists.
Do you have a date set for your firearms training?
No, not yet. We're discussing ideas for that and put together some training. So we haven't got a date set.
Have you priced out targets?
I have. On some things, not all. We looked at some shoot, don't shoot targets. I was looking at targets kind of set up for small departments with small budgets, and uh, we had come up with I found some targets for that. We do need some of the qualifying targets. We don't have any of those. And then we discussed we'd like to get some blue guns for practicing. We can do shoot don't shoot situations in rooms and behind barriers and stuff with blue guns and stuff as well, which is also so that's expensive. But
Why don't you get a price for qualifying targets
okay,
and get what you need? I think our prior police budget is probably, without having a fourth officer, we have room in there, and we're well over halfway through the fiscal year. And or just started second quarter. And then Paula, if you could take a look at the police budget and work with Travis on when you come up with a budget by maybe end of this week. And then maybe we can approve a purchase of targets next Tuesday. So we can get those guys, be able to get qualified on their own.
also one of our reserves is he went to the same firearms instructor class that I did, and he had he was part of that meeting. He had some good ideas with that. Well, so we're thinking, we're kind of in that rebuilding phase. So we thought I asked him if we want to work together on building something up, and so that's good ideas.
Perfect. Cool. Thank you, Travis.
You betcha.
Mr. Ward,
Yes, sir.
what you got for us?
Well, I can't read, so I can. Oh, he is.
You remember?
Now, so the water department, we've been doing a bunch of work kind of up in the tank, right there where you kind of crest the top of the hill. It was always really narrow and kind of hard to pick up around, so we can get some dirt work and kind of tidying it up and cutting some trees and brush and kind of widening it out, make it more user friendly. We did the power line, so clear back in September, a tree, I think it was a tree fell across the line. It was just like the secondary, it's just a 110. But it kind of pulled the stretch and drifted in two. We got that repaired. Because up there's like a little shack around the vault that goes down. And all it is just a couple of plugins and a light switch, place to plug in a heater for the sensor. But it needed repairs. We got that taken care of. Down at well 2, Gene showed up. We got working with Clay and Gene, everybody got the power going at well 2 again. He's still supposed to come back and the soft start he says he ordered the right one, but they sent the wrong one, so he had to send it back. We're waiting for the right one kind of thing. So that's the only thing at well 2, just that soft start, and then it's back online. Then we installed the box this morning. Down the sewer, the mud valves. So I think we finally got most of the stuff pulled out for now anyway. Actually, it was Christmas Eve. We were getting ready to do our Christmas potluck thing down there. But we spent all morning down there dragging out a lot of fun stuff about as long as that table.
Merry Christmas to
Yeah, you're excited.
Keeps on getting.
Yeah,
That's right.
Buffet line.
Yeah. Anyway, so we finally got that to where the level has been consistent. The TSS, remember our TSS was kind of high with the algae bloom and stuff. We're back under spec with that. Everything's looking great. So we're in good shape there. The CHC, we had to kind of help them figure. Actually, it was right around that same time they were having trouble up there. And whoever installed their service line, the plumber guy, he just knew it was on our main. And I told him, no, I don't believe so. But he finally he came back the day after Christmas, and we went down there and met him. And he ran a camera down there, and whoever installed their service line comes out the back of the building instead of going straight to the main. They came over this way and then over this way and then down, and where it goes in is actually level with the main, which is a horrible, yeah, so.
Terrible design.
Yeah, so they someday down the road, they may be having issues again, something to just have to keep an eye on, but at least now we're aware of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, they got it cleared out, and that was kind of a battle. The pumps at the lift station behind the county shop, so we had actually my SCADA system, who is Bob Henson. he called me and said, "Hey, it was about 10 o'clock at night." He said, "Do you know the red lights blinking at the station down there?" And I said, "No, but I appreciate the call." So I went down there, and the pump was just tripped, because if you get a bunch of that, the rags and the fun stuff that gets watered up in the impeller, and it empties out the pump. So that's all it was. But we pulled that one up the next day. We went down there, we pulled that one up and got it all cleaned and took it apart and cleaned, and then while we were working on that, the second one delayed, so we had to pull the second one too. And so that anyway, they've been working good since. Hopefully they'll stay that way.
So that would be the system upgrade.
Yeah.
That would, I was just.
Yeah, it's like if there's something like that, call us out. And right now, the SCADA doesn't work. And actually, the people that are still listed on there, if it were working, none of them work here anymore. I mean, it's
Go to somebody that wouldn't even care.
it's that anyways.
Red light.
Yeah.
That's where I'm talking, like the stuff that we got at the lagoon and stuff like that is way more important. Other water project we were talking about, so that one's gonna take precedence if either one of them or else. Then I talked about the RPA thing. We had a meeting with Chris Hayes and the contractors. We actually had quite a bit of interest in it. There was through online, and some of them we took down there. They kind of looked it over, and so we'll see what happens there. They should be biting pretty quick. Streets. Just a little bit of sand in here and there. We haven't had any snow to fuss over. We were actually fixing some potholes. There was some down at the post office. There's some up on 6th Street, but they need done again. We were working on some alleys too, because some of the alleys from all the rain and stuff, they were getting real washboardy. So this is stuff we usually focus on in the spring, but it's
Close up spring, there you go.
spring.
Oh, it's coming.
How many behind Town Park? Is that cleaned up, good to go now, or is there no?
I don't think so. I think it needs I mean, we can haul some gravel down there once we get the sander off the truck, or I kind of thought they were supposed to come back and do it.
So I'm kind of wondering.
But we might wait till 3 Christmases from now for that to happen, because maybe it still won't happen, so. Maybe if we just do it and take care of it and stuff. So that's, we can look into that for sure.
Make me a list of outstanding items that were supposed to be done,
Okay.
so.
I guess I talked about that, and a lot of the work we were doing up at the tank, it was some road work too, so I put it in both of them. General stuff, maintenance, like Travis talked about, the cop cars, we changed all the oil in all our trucks, we did the backhoe, we did the skid steer, I mean, we greased and oiled everything. We did the brakes on Clay's truck. And then the last thing there I put, we have the doors for the fire hall. So we just gotta figure out, I guess, the one down there, I think I mentioned that last time, the one down there, they figured it, the door jam and everything was still good, they just repainted it and tried to go what was wrong, it just needed to coat the paint. They said the door and everything was still good, but these two straight behind us, we got replacement. Yeah, those two of course. Yeah, and then still working on some water meters when it's weather allows.
Thank you, Ward.
Yes, what?
Sharon Clinton. Got a couple of small items here and there. We do have to replace one transformer, but it was a transformer that just had a bushing fill on the inside. I mean, common grade. Luckily, it only affected a couple of people's houses. So, and it was only football game. So it wasn't a big deal. Now, that we're saying we finished our job well too. Was kind of a tricky one just because we had to redo CTs that we've never done before. So got a hold of Northern Lights, got some more information. They ended up pointing us towards a set of books that could show us how to wire all our CTs. That's not something we do on a day-to-day basis, so this is kind of a real dummy thing for us, just so we can follow the lines and make sure it's done right. We don't want to meter anybody wrong. We want to make sure we're metering everybody correctly. Right now, John's back on a little bit more than light duty. He's walking. Keeps correct with him in case he falls, but he's walking. So by the end of this month, he'll have it off and have his boot back on. And they are working on the meter list right now. I think they're up to 280 meters that they've inspected so far out of 1,080. So we've got all of Iron Creek, Kern Road, Green Ridge, all the outlying areas on that side of town, and most of the highway is done. So starting tomorrow, we should be in town. We do have a list of people who have requests to let them know if they have dogs. So if I've got a form, I'll call them, but if I just have a name and no address, I don't know where everybody lives in this town. So I'm okay with addresses and stuff, but I don't know everybody my name yet. So other than that, we found.
That's just maybe follow up, give their name and give you an address.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that on the mapping too, but as quick as we're going, we're there for 25 seconds. So it's just in and out. Now, if the dog's bad enough, I mean, we'll go to the next one and skip it. So the whole, just trying to get this knocked out as much as possible. We have found probably 30 different ones that we're gonna have to win the tag. And that's either it's an issue for us or an issue for the fire. Mainly due to clearance. So if we find someone, like we have someone who built a deck over the meter, like we're halfway through the meter. Yeah, and so like I can't get to the meter to remove it, and I know you guys won't be able to either. So they're gonna have to fix it. Same thing if they have overly big hedges where you can't get to it, you can't find it. Just take care of it. Like a lot of stuff that gets forgotten. Like we found one that was in a house. Like they built a house around the pole in the meter can. Yeah, and so it was one of those. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So
Not even close. You can't do that.
yeah, correct. But I mean, so there's a lot of little stuff like that we're gonna be, once we've done with the list, we'll know exactly where to take them to, where to watch them, because we give the rain tags out, and I'll give them 30 to 60 days, depending on the severity of it, to fix it. I mean, this stuff might have been there for the past 10 years, and no one has just went through door to door since we remote read them to the truck that we drive by. But I mean, now that we're going each one to make sure we have an exact count of what type of meter we have, we're finding a lot of stuff that probably was caught back when they walked to every meter, into when we go on to do it. So I'm glad we don't do that anymore, but still like this stuff comes down to it. Other than that, Christmas lights came down. We're working on getting new Christmas lights ordered. We fixed the mini. We had some little issues with lights not being able to see at night, and we had an outage around Thanksgiving. That lights on the mini would have been nice. So now we have lights on the mini. So other than that, it's just status quo. I mean, we're waiting for the cold weather to show up. They're talking next week, hopefully when it gets here. But most people aren't looking forward to the negative temperatures. I want them because that shows me where the trouble issues are in our system. So if we don't have cold weather, I don't know what to look for next summer. So I gotta be able to pick something. So I need the cold weather to be able to prove the system. Yeah.
Separated, yeah.
How many calls have you gotten about the lights out on the highway?
I've gotten.
Just curious.
So I've been called my dispatch twice. But I've gotten probably 10 to 12 phone calls for the day, and I think Sharon probably got somewhere around 30. And honestly, it was Zipley's contractor who bored through it. Like I saw
Right by my house.
Yeah, right by your house. I saw when it happened because that next night the lights went out, and I was like, wonder what happened.
Yeah.
But
They've been over there a bunch looking for it. I don't even know if they found it yet.
so they
can't
didn't
be very
find it.
right.
They rebored a new pipe in to pull new electric wire and light the light where they hit it.
Oh,
So it's
potentially it could come back on.
one day. I mean,
I know it's dark over from her to town.
It is.
Hope it's small.
yeah, dark skies. It's supposed to be nice.
Yeah.
Enjoy the stars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It's
they're
nice and easy.
simply is fixing it. So who knows when that'll happen? The state has taken a role that you broke it, you fix it. So fingers crossed. Good luck. So.
Any public comments on matters not on the agenda?
I have a couple things we need to, I saw some stuff in the listserv about council positions when people, resign or unfortunately someone had passed away, so was reading their steps that they're following. So we do have to, Jesse can't just take over your full term. So we will have to, yeah,
Yeah,
That's the next.
municipal.
yes,
Okay.
next
Oh,
election, so just,
That was bad info from. Who we get anyways.
so we'll have
Okay.
that. So I
Alright.
think we'll have 3.
And then it'll just be he
So,
finishes
yeah.
out, so it won't be a full
Whoever
term.
gets voted for that will
It'll
be
be a 2-year.
remainder of that term,
Yeah.
yeah. And then,
So we keep our rotation.
So it'd be my position, Scott's position. Okay, Jesse. And then Jesse's, okay.
Well, that was easy enough.
so we should reverse it.
with FYI, yeah.
What about, council president?
Yes, I read, put that on. We need to put that on special meeting, yes. For Tuesday, because we will need to vote for council president. So, Sean, it's year to year. Think Sean has been doing it. And everything, so if anyone wants to throw their hat in the ring, so basically you're the backup for the mayor. You have to sign a whole lot of stuff when you do it, so I have no idea. But yeah, so basically get signature cards for everything, all the accounts, backups and everything else like that, run meetings if I'm not in town or the mayor's not in town.
Or mayor first.
The mayor quits, so. But if anyone wants to step up and do that, or if you guys just wanna have Sean to do it, we'll just have a quick meeting on that to finalize that for the year. Thank you, Shona.
And I know she mentioned something about the ordinances, you can amend or whatever. What I found on, we were talked at the work meeting about the ordinance for the, what is it, the trailers living on your house, whatever. What I found said that you can't pause them, you can't change them. You have to repeal it completely.
Right.
So the whole ordinance process.
Okay.
To repeal it, and then you would do the process again to re-put in, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we have to do with that.
I brought up last meeting, TJ, about our ordinance that we have in the city that says you can't reside. I just feel like it's not right. There's no housing here. Telling people you can't live in a trailer on your own property is, I feel like, not very just.
Okay, yeah, Shona, I comment on that.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, the city has flood ordinance, and that needs to be redone. Needs to be updated, basically. Yeah, DNRC let us know that Troy is quite outdated, Eureka also, and so they're asking that the municipalities all adopt new flood management, flood hazard ordinance or regulations. So that's something that I can bring to you guys. DNRC provides a kind of model regulations that are, up to date.
Okay,
So I know we did that with Libby, maybe 2 years ago. And, essentially the same as the county's ordinance.
okay.
Change the name or anything specific to the place, but nothing should be really out of the ordinary for Troy.
Is it reviewing like up to date floodplains or is it just creating ordinance?
Yeah, so it's basically just the management, try to, mitigate flood hazards, basically, and then dealing with people who are in the floodplain and, helping them get flood insurance, by essentially building to the standards that are set out by FEMA and the state. But the city, if you recall, signed a letter of support for a new flood study. It was last year sometime. The DNRC, I think, we got the grant from FEMA for that. And so that'll be, countywide, 626 miles of waterway will be remapped. And using a lot, obviously more modern techniques than they did in 1980. But also a lot of waterways move around. Especially Lake Creek, Big Cherry, Libby Creek, they've all meandered quite significantly even in the last 10, 20 years. So it's good to update those somewhat frequently. So they're going to start that work, I believe, this summer. And then it'll take some years. It's a pretty big project. I mean, I think they told me $6 million project. But once that's all done, then all the flood maps will be available digitally online. So any landowner can just look it up, see if you're in the floodplain or near one. But right now, it's kind of a pain. All the flood maps are paper maps from 1980. They're in a drawer at the courthouse. It's not, easy for normal people to look them up. So, yeah.
Anything else? Going once, going twice. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Well, you guys can step right in.
Right?
It's me.